Alright. I have got reason to believe that we are actually recording on something new. I've got a green light at least. If you're wondering what this is, you'll see it in a minute. But it is a Panasonic OmniMovie, model number PV-320D. It is a full-sized VHS camcorder, so it's actually sitting on my shoulder right now because that just happens to be the most convenient way to do this. I didn't notice until actually I was showing it on the air last night, on the live show, and I didn't even notice until then that it's actually got power zoom on it, which we can see now. Of course, it's also got autofocus. I don't know if it's going to actually autofocus or not. There, of course, is the power zoom. Or we could do it without power zoom very easily. Also has a macro mode. Let's see how close we can get to this. I'm going to do it right, of course. And you can see the macro mode. I've got the lens basically right in front. Actually, I do have it right in front of it. Then you can get something of an idea as to what it looks like. Sometimes it doesn't seem to have the best focus mechanism. Well, maybe that's because it just can't focus further or something. I don't know. Either way, you can see it. We do have date and time, but there's a slight problem. You may notice the time is right, but the date is not. Interestingly enough, this has got a 4-digit year, but it's not Y2K compliant. It wraps around at 1999. It goes from 86 to 99. That's it. I was very shocked to see that. You know, they bothered to put all of that into it and didn't even make it Y2K compliant. I don't think backlight compensation is going to do much. High-speed shutter. There's a review mode. You can see a focus control up there, manual focus. I could turn it into manual focus. Push the button, it should focus itself. Of course, I can focus it manually if I wish to. I'll just put it into autofocus mode. Leave it there. There you go. There should be, hopefully, a good quality video of the Panasonic VHS-C camera. Take a look at what we got with it. This is the carrying case. Check out that price tag. Actually, hold on a minute. Close this up so we can check the price tag. Into macro mode. That's the price tag. I don't know where the receipt went, but I can tell you what, I didn't pay that much. I took it up to the cash because I decided, you know what, to hell with this, I might as well make them an offer on it. And I did. And turns out, I got $20 off of this. I went for $14.99. Talk about the steal of a century. The case is in really good condition, and as you'll see, the camcorder is in even better condition. I think I need 2 hands to do this. I like the spring-loaded nature of that. Well, maybe not so much spring-loaded, it may be more hydraulic than anything else, but it's pretty cool. What did we get with it? Well, there's an RF modulator here. Kind of busticated end, though. There's an audio cable. There is this thing here, which is a remote start-stop thingy. And then I got a video cable as well. And the power supply, obviously, which is on the floor right now. Here you can see it. We'll take a look at that in a minute as well. Actually, I think it's probably time that we take a look at some of the other things. Take a look at the actual camera. So I'll stop this part of the video and we'll move on with a different camera. Alright, here is the camera unit itself. Well, the carrying case right now, you can see. Yes, that price sticker really does say what you think it does. No, I really didn't pay that. I don't know where the receipt is at present. So obviously this part of the video is being filmed much, much later, because in my typical fashion, I don't get around to things in a quick, easy manner. Kind of get an idea as to what the case is like. There's some scuffing, but that's to be expected, really. For the most part, it is completely immaculate. I'm very surprised. Attach this stub to product. Location, receipt number. I wonder what that actually is. That's some kind of asset tag or what? Not really all too terribly sure. Could turn the camera light off and it probably wouldn't matter much. Might be able to see that a little better. Let's open it. It does have a key lock on both sides, but I don't have the key, unfortunately, and good thing it was unlocked. I like this spring-loaded latch here. Nice touch. There's the camera itself. Some of the accessories. The tape was mine. I actually freshly unwrapped that for use with this camera. This right here is the power supply, battery charger, and composite video output and input all in one. Which I thought was a neat feature. This is an audio cable. Doesn't really belong in here. I'm thinking about taking one of the video cables out of the low-end radio setup. That's probably what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to take one of the... Because I'm using a couple video cables as audio cables. I'm going to have to change that because I want to get this audio cable out of here. Use that in the studio. It is kind of messed up though. It's got a little bit of gunk on it. Not sure if you'll be able to see that. You can kind of see it. The camera is in immaculate condition. I have never seen a VHS camera, full-size VHS camera, in as good a condition as this one's in. It's like it was never used. Mind you, I've only seen a handful of full-size VHS cameras as opposed to the billions upon billions of VHS-C cameras I've seen. Apparently VHS-C was very common around here, as opposed to the 8mm formats. Let's get this camera out. Have a look at it in a minute. For now, let's take a look at some of the other things that are in here. The RF modulator's here, but it looks to be a little bit messed up. I can't use that. There's also a remote button here. Not really sure how that works. Pretty interesting to try it out though. The only bad thing about this entire unit is the battery. Actually, there are two bad things with it. The battery is one of them. It doesn't even register on the charger, and when I stuck a multimeter up to it, it registered 0 volts, so I think that's toast. I don't know if I can try the water trick on it. I don't know if that would even work, because it's probably hopelessly sulfated by now. So, unfortunately, I'm probably going to have to just get a new battery if I want battery operation, but I don't know if I care that much. For $14.99? But come on. Alright, time to have a look at the camera itself. This switch up here is for switching between VTR and camera mode. You can see all the various playback controls. Here's the eject switch for the tape. Power switch, standby. Accessory shoe, it's not a hot shoe. Which means that you cannot use powered accessories in there unless they're powered through external means. Or you've got a way to power them through external means. Here's the other side. Again, immaculate condition. There's a pad here that I'm assuming is for your head when you have it on your shoulder. Nice touch. Backlight compensation control, fade control, review, high-speed shutter, date and time functionality, tape counter. There's your focus control. It's a slide switch, actually. It's manual focus, and I guess you press it to autofocus. And of course, I leave it in autofocus mode for the most part. Here's your zoom control. It does have a macro mode. Push down that green button and it puts it into macro mode. I believe that is, I don't really know what all those numbers mean. I'm not a camera specialist. I've got a lot of them, obviously, but I'm not really a specialist for that. Comes with a lens cap and something on the front. I believe that might be a record lamp or something. It is missing part of the viewfinder. There's supposed to be like an eyepiece on there, but you know what? For $14.99, who cares that it's missing? Here's some information. Not sure if you'll be able to read it. Oh yeah, there we go. Electronic viewfinder for PV-320D-K. Don't know what the -K means. There's your serial number. You can kind of see it. Made in Japan. Date of manufacture. Again, you can kind of read it. It says December of 1987. So it was probably sold in 1988 sometime. What else have we got? There's your tripod mount on the bottom. On this side, real sparing controls. There is an external headphone jack. I'm not really sure if this microphone... External headphone, that's external microphone. I'm not really sure if this this microphone is in excellent condition, but it certainly is serviceable. I didn't notice that it had a power zoom control in this until I started playing around with it. Here's the record button. Here's a look at the tape basket again. There's a tracking control there. Edit switch. That's the port for the AC adapter. Completely proprietary, so I'm glad I got it. And then down here, if I can actually get down here, there's a battery eject lever there. Battery's supposed to go in there. There's your remote. That's for that remote control thingy. And obviously a headphone jack. I'm not sure. I think that's mono headphone, but I'm not sure if it goes through both earpieces or not, if you plug in a headset or something. So that's pretty much it. Not much else I need to talk about. There's your score of the century there. Panasonic PV-320. VHS camera, full size. Marked $34.99, paid $14.99 for it, a full $20 less, and it works. So expect to see a couple of videos with it. Of course, it's really big and bulky, so I might not make too many. But of course, I do like to use my various thrift store purchases. And that's something that most people, they hound me for using all these VHS cameras. You got an HD camera, why don't you use it? The simple fact of the matter is, these cameras, I don't buy these things just so they can sit on a shelf and do nothing. I buy them so I can use them. And actually make good use out of them. And, like I've said before, I like the picture quality better than I like the picture quality on the HD camera. Pretty sad that in how many years of development, they've managed to make a camera with an image sensor that is actually worse than its predecessors. But, nevertheless, they did. So, I guess there's one thing. Thank you for watching. If you've got any comments, feel free to leave them down below. And this is CP666 signing off. I hope to see you next time. Till then.